is Vietnam war vets.
Okay.
So
Thursday the 29th.
yeah,
Okay.
so we're live.
Better
We're live. Hi, folks. Today is Friday, March 29th. Today is Vietnam War Veterans Day, and I want to thank Larry for his service and all the others out of you who served in the Vietnam War. You didn't get the thanks you deserved. You didn't get the thanks and appreciation you needed. But I think there are many of us today who would say thank you and appreciate the sacrifice you made and what you have lived through there and since coming home. So thanks. And Larry, you can take it away now.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. It was awful sweet. Hello, folks. Well, it is Friday. And President Trump had a rally in Michigan. And the people were excited. They gave him a warm reception. The Democrats are in a state of confusion right now. As most of you know, the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee have been calling for Schiff to step down. Of course, he won't. And don't believe for a second that Pelosi will force him to step down. She's pretty much declared she's not going to do that. So where does it leave us today? It leaves us today where we were yesterday, except for one thing. We're a day closer to running out of time. I want to thank everybody for coming in today, and I want to thank people yesterday. There was, I believe it was 7 people that helped. And I appreciate you and thank you for doing that. It wasn't the 28 I was hoping for, but it was 7, which is better than 3. And better than 1 or none, which is typical. Folks, I get today is kind of a weird day. It's coming up on the weekend. I'm waiting to see what the Democrats and the media are going to dump this weekend. What are they going to bring out to stir the fire? I was talking to a couple of gentlemen this morning that called me, good friends, and they asked the question that I assume most of you have asked yourself a time or two. They had people that they were trying to get to wake up, and they wanted to know that I had any copy points or bullet points to give them to help. Well, I told them, I've told y'all before, but I think it's worth saying again. There are people out there that you, all of us are going to be talking to. But you need to know as quickly as you can the categories they're in. Now, by the way, you can call in today with a comment, or you can ask me a question. We did the conference line thing, so the number is 712-45, well, if you're listening now, 712-451-0725, and the PIN is 492-215 pound. So call in now if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment. But what I told them as quickly as you can, determine what category the people are in that you're trying to talk to. And what do I mean by that? Well, there are people that are asleep. And of the group of people that are asleep, we need to be talking to. We want them to wake up. But you need to ascertain as quick as you can those people that are asleep because they want to be asleep. They don't want to wake up. It's scary, the percentage of our population that, quite honestly, want to stick their head in the sand and keep it there. They will tell y'all things such as, well, I don't want to hear it. there's nothing I can do anyway, so just don't bother me with it. And the comments other than that just keep going on. That group, I'm going to tell you, as soon as you find out that somebody's in that group, just walk away. Walk away. I hate to say that, but it's important that you use your time wisely. It's important that you don't overload yourself with a ton of people downgrading you or downplaying what you're talking about. That's hard to fight through. So when you get someone like that, someone that is purposely burying themselves and do not want to know the truth, walk away. Now the other group that you'll run into is the never Trumpers. Those people, you might as well walk away. There's nothing you're going to do to get those people to align themselves with our cause. You're not. Now I know just because they don't like Trump, that doesn't mean they still aren't concerned about our country. But I've talked to enough of them over and over and over again to know that if they don't like Trump, they're a solid vote for the Democrats. And as we know, all of us, if you vote for a Democrat, whichever one becomes their nominee, if you vote for Democrats, you're voting for socialism. Socialism. So walk away. There's one other group that I would suggest you be careful with, possibly even walk away, and that would be family. You know, it's very hard to get family members to not look down on you when you talk about these things. And you don't need trouble at home more than life takes every day or life brings every day to the family. So I would suggest, unless you're a fortunate one that has a family that's very interested in with us, walk away. So there are the three groups you need to walk away from. Let's just make it very clear. But that's it. The rest of the people, we must spread the word. Now, I noticed somebody just got on the line. Do you have a question or comment?
Hi, my name is Mira. No questions so far, thank you.
Well, okay. Guys, socialism. Socialism. That's probably one of the most evil words that we can use today. Socialism always brings starvation. It always brings suffering. And it always brings death. Now, if our nation, as great as it is, succumbs to socialism, it would be the greatest tragedy on earth, to be honest. But why would we take a country that at least still professes to be for freedom? Why would we take a country that, at least for now, provides the opportunity for people to better themselves? Why would we take a nation, at least for now, that our children and grandchildren have a chance of growing up and having a good and fruitful life? Why would we take a nation like that, like this, now, and throw it away? It makes no sense. None at all. It makes even less sense to me that one of the things we're suffering right now is a phenomenal number of immigrants coming into this country legally or illegally, either way. You know, I find it incredible persecuted or felt that they couldn't go anywhere, couldn't accomplish anything, couldn't be anything, couldn't be free. And they come to America. Yet those people have been lied to and sucked into believing that when they get here, if they want to stay here, if they want to be allowed to prosper here, they have to vote Democratic. They have to vote Democratic. And I say to those people, you left a country that was hard, in most cases socialism, dictatorship, whatever. They should be the ones screaming the loudest, never here. It makes no sense. Why would you bring here, or why would you facilitate here what you left in the country you came from? I get frustrated. My God, are they all just totally ignorant? Are they so stupid that they can't see that they're bringing with them what they tried to escape, what they tried to leave behind? Then I see, when you see the protests, notice the flags that they carry. Proud of their countries, I suppose. They're carrying the Honduran, Salvadorian, Guatemala, Mexico flag. They proudly parade around carrying their flags with them. Why? I mean, it's the country they left. It's the country that they escaped and came here to get away from. That's a group we're going to be working hard. I'm working pleasantly to try to get a group that will be Hispanic, Latino, against socialism. We're putting together a short video that has testimonies from people that have come here and don't want it to happen here. I think most surveys have shown that some of the strongest people against socialism are the illegal immigrants here. They're more upset about illegal immigration than most Americans. Upset about it. Two reasons. Number one, they paid the money, took the time, and did it the right way. And I'm sure it offends them to see, after all they've gone through, to come here, to see others just abuse it and come in without doing anything. It's got to end. I think President Trump is doing the right thing. Very soon, he's going to be forced to shut down the border. And when that happens, guys, all hell's going to break loose. When they shut down our borders, all hell will break loose. I promise you that. But instead of fighting as a nation, trying to protect and defend itself, this nation will split up. And it'll be just as polarized, just as divided as we are today. It's a shame. It's a shame it has to be this way. That's why I tell you, I need every one of you to saddle up and get in the game with us. Saddle up and be a part of the greatest movement in the history of our nation. Yes, I did say that, the greatest movement in the history of our nation. Now, I know somebody will say, well, now I think the Revolutionary War was the greatest movement. It was. It was great. But folks were trying to hang on to something. We're trying to keep something. That makes it harder. You see, in revolutionary times, they had never known own freedom. They had never really had an opportunity to enjoy the things we have today. So they fought. And the only one thing to break away from England. Today it's harder. Because you see, we've had all of these luxuries. We've become lazy. We've become complacent. And it will be a harder struggle, I assure you, to get our country back if we ever let it succumb to socialism. Now, Mary Ellen, if we had any questions or comments on the little message thing.
It said, no, somebody named James said if they don't shut down the border, America will turn into Venezuela in 10 years. 10 years ago, Venezuelans voted for all the freebies, and look where it got them.
Right. By the way, folks, send your messages or call in. I want to hear from you. Always people want to talk to you. I want to hear what you want to know, what you want to say.
And if you share the video and hit the like button, it does boost something for us. I'm not sure exactly what and how, but I have heard that. So thank you.
What are you talking about?
Anybody who shares this and invites people to join us, or they hit the like, there's a thumbs up and there's a thumbs up. If you hit the thumbs up, there's something YouTube does if there are enough people who do that. So it's to our benefit if they share it and if they subscribe and if they, the number of subscribers and the number of likes and the number of shares is something that benefits us somehow.
I just saw on television that Barr said the Mueller report would be released to Congress mid-April, if not sooner, which means he does not intend to make next Tuesday's deadline that the Democrats put on him. Here again, guys, out there, the Democrats demand of Barr to release the report when they want it out. You see, they're afraid. They're afraid they're losing ground, and they are. And they want this thing to still be going on. And as long as the report is tied up with Barr, and people don't know about it, they're losing ground because all people are aware of right now is that there were no indictments against Trump or any of his people for the collusion, etc. Be ready, all of you. When the Mueller report is released, I believe, my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, there are going to be little nuggets inside that report that are going to be that will suffice for the purpose of the Democrats to say he's not absolved of anything. I've heard all the different things they're saying. One of them saying, well, just because it didn't meet the standards of proof beyond the shadow of a doubt, that doesn't mean he didn't do these things. Well, folks, that's wrong. That's exactly what it means. Know that. So when people tell you, well, it didn't absolve him of anything, yes, it did. And what the Democrats want to claim is But in today's mixed up, crazy world, it won't be.
Hey, we have a question. When will President Trump shut down all the witches churches in our college where they teach people to hate Christianity?
That one I don't know. I don't even know if he can. I don't know. You know, here again, be careful what we ask for. If we want President Trump to be able to shut down the witches churches, especially in our college campuses and so forth, if we allow him to do that, then there could be a day when the Democrats here wants to do away with Christian churches. The precedent would have been set. Unfortunately, as much as I hate it, people are free to worship as they please. And that doesn't include, unfortunately, those that worship Satan. It's not right. I don't want my family exposed to it. I know you don't want your family exposed to it. But there's going to be some of that. And just to understand my position, we're fighting to keep our country and to get it back. We're fighting to preserve the Constitution. And we don't need to be like the Democrats trying to do away with it. So if we change it, we're just as wrong as they are. If we deny it, we're just as wrong as they are. So be careful. Be careful. All we want is simple. We just want our country back. That's all we want. We want our country back. We want a country that follows the Constitution. We want a country that recognizes and follows the Ten Commandments. We've got to become a moral society again, which we have totally, not y'all, and I'll say totally, we want to become a moral society again where far too many have gone the other direction. Unfortunately, they're loud. You know, small groups that are loud get attention. Big groups that are quiet don't. Now, as I see it now, we represent and we are part of the big group. And it still is a majority, I believe, in this country. But it's quiet. And as long as we're quiet, this far left fringe bunch of some people that support the most ridiculous things I've ever seen, transgender, you name it. As long as we're quiet and they're making noise, they're being heard. And we're not. And that's what we're trying to do here. We must make our voices known. Right now, today, we must make our voices known. Now, do any of you have any questions or comments? Get them in right now, please. I don't have any people in the chat room.
26. Here's a question. Is it true that fraternity houses are the start to Freemasonry?
I don't know. I would imagine that is the case in some. I think that's an individual fraternity and individual college thing. I do not believe there is a uniform structure for that.
Okay, a few years ago.
I would be misleading you if I told you I knew all about it, because I do not.
Okay.
Yes.
A few years ago, the FBI was on TV listing the crimes of Bill and Hillary Clinton, saying there's not enough to prosecute. Will this turn around?
Yes. Now, here's a trick. glad that was brought up. Here's a trick. You know, I told you with Trump, yes, there was evidence, but it just did not meet the standards, beyond a shadow of any doubt. That applies in the case with Trump. In the case with the Clintons, the problem is there are massive amounts of evidence, massive amounts, but we can't find a prosecutor or a court to bring them out. So if just because you can't find a prosecutor and a court to bring the cases before, you can't say that they're absolved yet. Now, they're not guilty until it's proven. But how do we prove their guilt when they control the very organizations and institutions that you have to go through to prove or disprove their innocence or guilt? The system they use is slick. It is slick. If you put key people in certain places, the world will be damned. If you've got people in key places that do your will, you're safe, and you can do incredible things, as you have seen the Clintons do. We've got to stop that. I've got to grow a mighty army. And when I say a mighty army, I'm talking about 1,000 people. 1,000 people. And with all the discontent, and with all the excitement, and with all the stuff that's going on, you would think we'd have 1,000 just at the snap of a finger, but we don't. And I must accept the responsibility of it being my fault that we don't. But I have not a clue right now what I can do to try and get that army that we're not doing. Mary Ellen and I, probably in 90% of our conversations, it's always about the same thing. How do we get more people? How do we get more people? I'm thankful for all of y'all. We needed to grow.
I want people to know that a few people have ordered t-shirts in the last couple days. I thank you. We're going to be able to place our order very soon. We just need a couple more people to order. So if you can do that, that would be awesome. And you can do that at the website. And if you have a problem with the website, we as far as we know, we fixed everything again. So if you have a problem, you can send a text to 499. No, start with the zip code first. 240-499-6729. And I'll help you. I'll help you figure it out.
All right. Yes, we need people to start wearing the t-shirts. We need to start spreading the word. Everybody, you can get the t-shirt, wear it proudly, and it will generate. It will help you find people to talk to. And that's the hard thing. How do you walk in a room and know which people in that room to be willing to join us? Well, the t-shirt does a lot of that for you. People will come up to you. You've already tested it. They will come up. They will ask. And when they do, you have found the kind of person you want to be talking to.
And if they don't say anything and it's somebody that you commonly have a conversation with and they don't say anything about it, you can easily ask, what do you think of my shirt?
Mm-hmm. So anybody got any questions or comments, you can call in and ask it yourself. you can use the message place thing.
I just put the phone number to call in on the in the chat. It's also listed under the video.
Okay, very good. Guys, we're in one of those periods of time where we must be still. I know you're anxious. I know you're wanting something to happen on our end. You're wanting us to do something. Let me tell you, I'm working as hard and as fast as I can to do my part to make sure that the criminal referrals get submitted, that we start investigating and prosecuting the people that have actually done collusion with the Russians, and it's not Trump. But just know sometimes you just have to go through these periods of time when it seems like nothing's going on. It is. There is stuff going on, believe me. But it seems to be slow right now as far as what we can talk about here. Look, I'm not going to come on here and just because everything's kind of in a moment of reflection. And when I say moment of reflection, everybody's gearing up. Democrats are trying to figure out how they're going to go with this Mueller report. They're trying to figure out what's their posture going to be. We know what they want to do and what they'll do, but we don't know how they're going to do it. Trump and his people are trying to figure out how the Democrats are going to come at them and with what, so that they'll know what to do to combat it. So this is just one of those times when you just must be still. Take a breath. We're going to need every ounce of energy very soon that all of us have. Just right now, be calm. Be calm. Anybody else, Mary Ellen?
I just responded in the text. Somebody was asking if you'd be willing to autograph a T-shirt for an extra donation, and I told him you would.
Yes. Matter of fact, I'll autograph a T-shirt. You don't have to pay extra. Just order the T-shirt and let it be known that you want it autographed. Now, I don't know how an autograph works on a T-shirt. I've only done a couple, but in my life. But certainly, if that would be of interest to you, yes, and you don't have to send extra for my signature. Good Lord, it's me. Any other questions?
No, sir, not now.
On your mind. What is on your mind? That's what I want to know. That's important to me. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm involved in. I don't know what's on your minds. And I want to be helpful. I do.
Larry, you might, I don't know if you know this. Sometime in the last couple days, Governor Abbott had a conference call with about 1,000 Republicans talking about what was going on in their state, and they were able to have a question answer with him. And I got a report that it was a really, really effective and worthwhile call to be on. They were very, very impressed with what Governor Abbott was planning to do. For example, with the wall, he was very concerned. There were people on the call that were finding, that all these illegal immigrants just walking through their yard, and they're absolutely terrified. And he said that if he had to build the wall with state funds, they were gonna work with Trump, and it was gonna happen. And he said that the person that reported to me said that there they've got what, like 1,200 miles of border with Mexico. They're in Texas. So we've got.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. I don't know if it's that much.
Yeah. We're gonna have to try out a couple different markers to see what we can do on black or what we can do on white. I know we can do easily on white, but whether we can do silver on the black and make it work or not, we'll see. There is a question. Here's a comment. Uncle Larry, we love you! Exclamation mark. Question: is President Trump truly angry with Sessions, or is it an act?
Mostly an act. Mostly an act. They had an agreement when, I guess I can tell it now, they had an agreement when he appointed Sessions that to avoid the appearance of looking like he had Sessions in the tank, you know, that he was his guy, instead of being an administrator of the law, that they would play sort of a good guy, bad guy routine. But I think the pressure built up so that it had to end. And I can tell y'all that Jeff Sessions is still very active. He's just not the Attorney General. And no, now was it real at the end? Did Trump get frustrated? Folks, if you've gone through, any of us have gone through what President Trump had gone through for the past 2 years, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to take it out on everybody around you if you're not careful. And I know things were not moving fast enough for President Trump. And so he decided to make a change. And we don't know yet if that change was a good change or not. We won't know until we see how Barr handles, first off, the Mueller report. And then we'll know. Talk for a minute, Mary Ellen.
Sure. There are other people and other groups that are starting to talk about never socialism. If you hear people doing that, will you please let us know? And if there's any way you can get contact information for the people you hear talking about never socialism so that we can connect with them. We need to network as much as possible. And don't forget, something we really need is we need to get 100. Yeah, we need to get 100 candidates willing to run for office for the U.S. House of Representatives. I mean, preferably we want a candidate in every single district so we can totally turn over Congress. But we need at least 100 in order to be able to work the media and get the help that we want from them to lower the cost of running a campaign, because it is very, very difficult to beat an incumbent because of the war chest they come with.
Yeah, we have a plan, folks, that if we can get the candidates, we can get the attention of the country. But we've got to have the candidates. We must have the candidates. So, folks, I ask you to please think about it. Or if you know somebody that's thinking about running, ask them to get hold of Mary Ellen. And we can help.
Now,
we can truly help.
Now, I'm going to give you the cell phone number again. Now, the best way to contact is to do a text message first, and I'm happy to call back. But do 240-499-6729. And if you want to order the shirt, the website is nicholslive.com. We are working on getting the logo available. As far as I know, Larry, we're working on getting the logo available so we can use it for other advertising media, whether it be T-shirts or that you print yourself, or signs or business cards and so on. Having the logo available, for sale at a low price, just to help with costs for us. But we haven't gotten that pulled off yet. But as far as I know, we're working on it, right?
Yes. Anybody have a question or comment?
That was one. Let's see. Yeah, here's a question I missed. Title 8, U.S. Code 1182F, gives the president the power to suspend the entry of all aliens when he finds their entry would be detrimental to the interests of the U.S.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Title 8, U.S. Code 1182F, gives the president the power to suspend the entry of all aliens whenever he finds their entry would be detrimental to the interests of the U.S.
Yes. Yes. And that will be the basis by which he closes down the border. He can do it.
Okay. That's what I thought.
By the way, I got a card just in the mail from Danielle. Danielle, thank you. She sent a gift card with a nice card. Thank you. It always helps me to hear from everybody. It really does. Thank you, and thank you for the support. Anybody else in the time we got left? You can believe in the next few days, President Trump is monopoly. He will shut it down. He has no choice, to be honest, guys. I talked to one of the people in charge of the border, and the point that he made to me was that it's beyond being able to even manage it now. They can't even manage it with some emergency plan. And every day, according to him, every day, more and more people are learning in Central America that if they want to come to America, now is the time. Now is the time that they're going to be able to get in. And they're spreading the word down there that yes, they get the wall built, then nobody will be able to come. So everybody's trying to flood in now. And our facilities, our personnel, our equipment, everything is overloaded on our southern border, big time. And we're about to the point where it's going to break. And if it breaks, we have trouble. Big time trouble. Now, what I mean break. And on any day, I expect we could see 10,000 people gathered at a point on our border and just rush it. Just rush it. There's nothing we can do to stop that. Nothing. And I fear they're getting ready to start doing things like that. Maybe not 10,000, but a couple of hundred here. 400 or 500 there. When they rush the border, it's dangerous. Because that's when the terrorists take advantage of it. That's when the drug cartels take advantage of it. And we're bringing a lot of people into this country that are coming here specifically to hurt us. Specifically to hurt us.
Okay, here's a question. And what gift card would be helpful if somebody were to send a gift card?
Well, Danielle sent just a Visa gift card. It's just a Visa gift card.
How about
those we can use? Those are just like anywhere.
Okay. Are you at? This is person saying explain. So you can go. I can go to my local Safeway and buy a Visa gift card. I think you can get it in $25 denomination. Actually, I think they can do any denomination up to $500. I think it costs you $6 to get it, and then you can send it to Larry, and he can just use it just like a regular credit card. It doesn't swipe like a regular card, but you. I mean, I've ordered things online with them. So, okay.
I don't know that much about it, but we've got some before, a few before. I mean, this is just a Visa card. It says register your card now.
So you will call. Yeah, you will call and register it, so that then it's free. Then you're able to use it. Next question: can President Trump reverse the catch and release with an executive order?
No, cannot. Cannot.
Okay.
He has explored that and found that it would be blocked immediately and it would lose in court.
Okay. Can you explain the life and death of Hillary? Death in quotation marks.
The life has been that of a power hungry, mean person. The death part, the death of Hillary, is when she is not relevant anymore. When she can twitch her nose and make people jump, then she'll still be, I guess you'd say, breathing. But she will effectively have come to the end of her road as far as what she's wanted all of her life. You know, these people are ambitious and they're dangerous. And I don't think people understand that the stakes at the level they play at. I mean, think about a guy who's got the most powerful position in the world, presidency of the United States. Power. Power beyond any of us and what we can imagine. And one day, according to the plan, she would take over as president and then move Bill to the UN. And eventually Bill would become Secretary General of the UN. Today, I fear that if the Democrats win, there's a good chance that they will move Obama to the UN. You see, when you excuse Rosie, she's got a toy, she's squeaking, there's nothing I can do about it. The problem with socialism is designed to make us not the United States of America, but to make us a country of the world. That's the whole goal. Socialism, we become a member of the global socialist community. We've got to stop it. We need to maintain our autonomy. We need to maintain our leadership in the world. But we sure as hell don't want people in England or Germany or the Middle East controlling how we live here. And that's what will happen. You know, I ask you all before to keep remembering who's not over. They're not through. They are not through. As a matter of fact, in some ways, they're just now getting their breath and starting over. are running. These are perilous times for our country. These are the most dangerous times I've ever seen in my lifetime. The folks, I have been places all over the world. I've seen that. I've seen a world you never want to see. And I fight hard to make sure it doesn't happen here. I think that's one of the things that burns inside of me. I've seen it in other countries. I've seen what it does, what it looks like. I've seen what it would be like. And we can't allow that here. We can't. I'm sorry that we have the millennial generation that has been totally brainwashed, totally lied to about the realities of socialism. And I don't know that I know how to ever get inside their heads and make them actually see what they're doing, the threat to all of us. I don't know how. But I do know this. Our generation, every day, the millennial generation is gaining more and more people coming of age to where they take their role in Americans' leadership. And every day, our generation loses people. We're dying off. That's scary. That's why I can tell you, if you look at the 2020 election, we're not going to have another chance. We're just not. Whether you believe whatever you believe, this, that, and the other, doesn't matter. This is just math. Just math. Our age is dying off. There's not enough of us. After this election, it'll be hard to find an election where there'll be enough of our generation to be able to win an election. And then when you add to that, when you add the illegals coming into the country, when you add to that, Democrats trying to fix it where people in prison can vote, when you add up all the other things they're doing to get votes, potential voters, our numbers dwindle. And it's scary. But for some reason, I'm just not able to reach out and grab hold of that army that we need yet. And we're running out of time. Guys, we're just about out of time. Weekend's coming up. I would ask, if you can, this weekend's going to be extra tough. I've got something that I've got to do that's going to be tough. So if there's any way you can help with PayPal today, please do. Please do. And that's Nichols live at AOL.com. Nichols live at AOL.com. Anything else from you, Ray Allen?
Yes, sir. Was the purpose of the invasion of Libya to open the floodgates of third world migration to Europe and attack Christianity?
Well, that's out of my pay grade. I think the whole exercise in Libya was a piece and part of the Bush and oil companies' endeavor to take over the Middle East oil. That's my opinion. Take it as such.
And one last one. I'm in the process of trying to wake up my teens. What message would you give them to plead them to listen to you, knowing all that you know, good sir?
What I would ask you to do with your teens, and thank you for educating your teens, your family. Thank you. I'm honored. you think I'm beating that horse too much. I'm not. Venezuela is the best example we have today of exactly what socialism means. And unfortunately, because the media is controlled, you'll notice that they don't bring us a lot of information about what's going on in Venezuela. That's on purpose, folks. They don't want people in America to be aware of what's happening in Venezuela, because that's exactly what's going to happen here, and they know it. So, if you've got teens you're trying to educate, do what you can to help them see Venezuela and understand why Venezuela is in the shape it's in.
Hey, Larry, I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
With teens, and even a little younger, something I did with my kids is I paid my children to read during the summer.
Uh-huh.
You can give them a list of historical novels or just strictly history books. The Diary of Anne Frank, for example, where they learn a little bit about what Hitler did. Teach them, let them discover for themselves by being paid to read. I mean, I gave my kids a penny a page. It wasn't real expensive. And let them discover what happened with Lenin and Stalin and Mao Zedong in China and Pol Pot in Cambodia and what happened in the Vietnam War. There are plenty of books out there. And I'm sure we have enough people on this team that we could help create a reading list for your kids for this summer to help educate them on the realities of socialism.
That's good. But now to the question of how to entice them to listen to me. I don't know how to answer that. I don't. Maybe you can tell them he's an old war dog. Maybe that would get their interest. I don't know. But I do know this. That you helping your teens understand what's going on, you're doing a great service to our nation. A great service. I wish more parents were as involved in trying to wake up the young. And oddly enough, the millennial generation is the one that can hurt us. But from things I've been told, the generation after the millennials, they seem to be more Christian and more Americanized than the millennials. I can't explain that, but that's what it seems to be. Anybody else? Mary Ellen, before we go?
No, that's it. Thank you, Larry. And thank you, everybody.
Folks, the weekend's coming. It's going to be a hard weekend, so I'm begging if you can to help. Your help is appreciated and it's needed. And I promise you this, as long as I'm breathing, I'll be fighting right alongside of you. So with that, Marilyn, thank you. And for all of you, have a good weekend. Hopefully see you Monday.
Okay. Thanks, Larry.